I don't think I ever necessarily thought that it would be something I would sort of be allowed to do until I actually had enough experience to kind of say, hey, you know what, I want to step out and do this on my own and see what it's like. And the more I did it, the more I loved it.
Did you ever have like experiences where you knew you could do a better job than the person who was actually doing it?
Whoa, we're just going right in, aren't we? There were times when this actually came out of necessity. Like I was writing my videos for years, and I had a video that was a very specific concept I had written, which was that I wanted to be prosthetically turned into a man and live my life as a man. And I wanted a female director to direct it, and the few that I reached out to were fortunately booked. You know, we like it when women work.
Yeah.
But none of the female directors that I wanted to direct it could do it. So I was like, well, I could do it, maybe. And then when I did direct, I just thought this is actually more fulfilling than I ever could have imagined.
Wow. So it was almost by accident that you...
Yeah, it was like happenstance, and now I think I've directed about 10 music videos and now one short, so I'm just sort of inching my way along towards taking on more responsibility.
Yeah.
But with you and doing plays, was there ever a point where were you starting out directing plays thinking, I want to direct films?
Weirdly, all of my plays, I never directed one of them.
Oh, so you would just write them and you never directed the plays?
I'd always be in the rehearsal room with the actors and working with the director, but because you've got so much control as the playwright in the room, that I never felt, the necessity to be in that much charge. And I worked with good directors who were not uncomfortable with me talking to the actors at any point and, you know, kind of giving them some direction anyway. In theatre, you pick the director, you know, and you cast the actors. And no one can cut a line that you don't want cut. So it's a very different process to being a writer on a movie.
That's fantastic.
So that's kind of why I knew I had to direct the movies, because the writer is the sort of lowest form of life on a movie.
Yeah, in terms of creative control.
Exactly. I kind of knew I had to jump in, and that's why I did the short first, to sort of just see if I could do it without being completely terrified. And I was completely terrified.
I think that your short is sort of like a 26-minute full menu of the furthest reaches of your tastes as a director. It's like so undistilled. You're like, and then the cow explodes.
And then the rabbit and the gun and
the ambiguity to the ending and
yeah. I guess like, so, yeah. So it's just like hit list of my
I love that you went extreme first, because I think I did too with a short that I did where it's like, I'm just going to give you all my feelings of despair and heartbreak with my first short.
In All Too Well.
Yes.
Yeah. So talk me through the process with that. Like, you wrote it knowing you were going to direct it?
I wrote it knowing I wanted it to be a short. I wanted to treat it completely differently than I'd ever treated a music video. I wanted to use a new cinematographer DP that I'd never used before, Rena Yang. I wanted to shoot it on 35 millimeter. And I wrote it with Sadie Sink and Dylan O'Brien in mind, which I heard that you wrote Banshees with your full cast.
Yeah.
Pretty much cast.
I wrote it for Colin Farrell and Brendan Gleeson and Barry Keoghan and Kerry Condon.
Those are the four main players. Like that had to have been amazing to kind of know what colors you wanted to paint with.
Yeah, you kind of, I guess, write to their strengths, but kind of give them a little leeway to bring some strange new things to it.
I think it's a new Colin Farrell performance.
I think it's quite lovely in it.
Amazing. It's so incredible.
So you loved Dylan and Sadie's work beforehand, or you knew them and knew their voices? How did that work?
I'd never met either one of them, but I had seen their work and I kind of thought, you know how sometimes you see an actor and you see the work they've done, but you can kind of see how it could have gone further?
Yeah.
And you can kind of see flickers of how they could really be excellent in a part they hadn't been cast as.
Yeah.
I had seen Sadie in Stranger Things, and I thought she has such a presence. She has such an empathy to her. You can just see micro emotions flash across her face in a way that I just don't usually see in performances. It's rare. And I thought, she's never been a romantic lead. And I wonder if she'd be interested in playing a young woman who goes through her first, cataclysmic heartbreak.
Yeah, and she did it so brilliantly.
She really, really did.
Why are you so pissed off? I'm not pissed off. Who said I was pissed off?
Did you write it, then meet her, or meet her and then hear her voice, or what?
I wrote it, and I wrote the manuscript, and I had, you know, kind of visual references of what type of art direction and the way I wanted to film it and the colors I wanted to use. There's a sort of a palette, you know. I sort of put together like a PDF of what I wanted to make, because I'd never made a short before, and so I'm in the mode where I'm trying to persuade these two actors who I don't have backups for in my mind to do the project.
Yeah.
And trying to convince them. It didn't take any convincing, because they just both said yes immediately when I reached out, but I texted them directly.
Cool.
And then we talked a lot, had a lot of conversations. I had them both over, they met each other, and then a couple months later we were on set.
Wow. And so the script was like 20 pages or 30 pages? Or,
Yeah.
and it had dialogue and all that?
It had dialogue. I'd scripted out some scenes of them falling in love, the scene of them falling apart, breaking up, and then I'd had this argument. And
I'm really interested in this argument.
so the argument was the one that we ended up keeping as a scene. I knew I wanted one scene to play out, and I didn't know which one it was going to be. So
Play out without music?
Without music, because I thought that it was just important to get a very potent glimpse into their dynamic, and I didn't know if that would come through best with them falling in love, breaking up, or fighting. It turned out the fight was where we saw the most of who these people are and what the problems are.
So could the song have stopped at any of those points?
Yeah, we have it in the edit. We have it in art. It's on film somewhere, but
Yeah.
we didn't put it in because I just thought, I want to tell this whole story, but I want there to be one really, portal glimpse into their life where we stop the music, because the music does a pretty good job of explaining the arc.
And just shooting that, how did it go?
It ended up being one shot. We had Rena with the Steadicam, and we were just going to shoot it as many times as we needed to get the coverage that we needed, but it turned out that it was one of those magic takes where we don't cut till probably 85-90% through that scene.
Wow.
My producer and I were just at the monitor just clutching each other.
Oh, I love it when that happens.
So it was fantastic. And I think you strike me as someone who has a lot of trust in your actors.
Yeah.
And that was that leap of faith moment of putting them in a room and they're having to fill in all the blanks of this chemistry. And we had talked at length about the dynamics of this fight. And it really comes down to the fact that she does not feel seen within this relationship. And on some level, he doesn't either, because both of these people are essentially saying, you don't understand where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
And you can't understand where I'm coming from.
Well, one of the things I loved about it, sorry for interrupting,
was
it did feel completely balanced. I think the song mostly is sort of from her point of view, but that scene was equal.
I think so,
was quite
too.
surprised in a lovely way that was there.
Hey, come on. I don't want to fight.
And so was that all your dialogue? Was it partly improvised? Or
It was partly improvised. I had written out that fight with the same arc and it being about the same thing. We had just talked about it so many times, about what this fight is about and what sort of things they would be saying to each other. It's a testament to them as just brilliant actors and collaborators that they went in there. And there were some things that Dylan would just blurt out, or that Sadie would say, and I'd just be sitting at the monitor going, oh my God.
Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce are moving forward with wedding planning at their own pace and approaching it as a shared effort. When it comes to wedding planning, nothing feels rushed or one-sided, a source exclusively tells People. They're both equally involved and excited, and this isn't something one or the other is carrying on their own. They're approaching it as a partnership, talking things through together and enjoying the process in a way that feels natural to them. The Grammy winner and the Kansas City Chiefs tight end, both 36, first started dating in September 2023 and announced their engagement news in a joint Instagram post on August 26. Your English teacher and your gym teacher are getting married, the pair wrote in their announcement, ending the caption with a dynamite emoji, seemingly a reference to their TNT nickname. The couple also shared a carousel of photos from the moment the Super Bowl champion popped the question in his backyard, surrounded by a stunning floral arrangement, 2 weeks before revealing the engagement. They were going out to dinner and she was ready to go and he said, "Let's go out in the garden on the patio and have a glass of wine before we go," Kelsey's dad Ed said on Australian radio's The Jimmy and Nath Show with Emma. "I think she knew something was up because as they walked out there, she could see, suddenly, there were a lot more flowers out there." Ed added, "These are two young people madly in love with each other, and I think this is great." The source close to the couple previously told People that both families are overjoyed. There were toasts, happy tears, and everyone is thrilled for them. Kelsey's mother Donna has been holding on to keepsakes from the milestone moment. Donna is already saving little things from this time like photos, notes and flowers, the source told People. She is very sentimental about it. She wants to remember every detail, so she has been holding on to mementos from their first days as an engaged couple. The engagement news came just weeks after Swift appeared on the New Heights podcast, which Kelsey hosts with his brother Jason, to announce that her new album, The Life of a Showgirl, will drop on October 3rd.